Coming to you live, we are the all-new Dallas Music Network, broadcasting from the gallery at Prashi Decor, located in the Design District of Dallas, Texas. Our theme tonight is Celebrating Creativity, featuring Taylor Davidson. Special guest, Pappy. But first, please give it up for Kirk Thurmond.
Tell me how low, say mercy me, can't believe what it said. All right, come on, but that's what you wanted, and that's what you get. Now you can make your friends think I did get news, but till the tape is spinning, truth is out, and prints are on the gun. You can say, oh, take the higher road, but the steals ain't sweet as the blood that you want. Tell me how long can you go, my baby? Oh, so how long can you go, baby? How long can you go, my baby? Oh, baby. Tell me, 'cause I know it feels like you came back down till there's a star that you can see, yeah. And I know it feels like oh, you're losing ground, yeah, but taking me down is not gonna get you out. How long can you go, my baby? All right. So how long can you go, baby? How long can you go, my baby? All right. All right. So, ooh, baby, so, ooh, so, ooh, baby, yeah, come on. Thank you. Still drunk in the morning. I'm out by myself, yeah. Don't let me the fighting. So doing like the baddest. Own it and let it go and let it show. I did it again. Now I'm thinking it over. See, I haven't heard a word from you since I reckon Campari and soda. You're bitter and sweet, baby. Now I'm me. The sloping shoulders, the blushing expression. You're the coolest thing that I ever seen, baby. Brown spirits with long legs, and alright, come on. You started fine, and over time, I did it again. Now I'm bubbling over, so I haven't heard a word from you since. Alright, come on, come by me and soda. You're bittersweet, baby. Now I'm thinking it over. So it came in too hard, went in too deep, too fancy for me. Before the apple spits, before I did it again. Take me back before it all again. Alright. Before the apple spits, before I did it again. So take me back before it all again. Before the apple spits, before I did it again. So take me back before it all again. And alright, come on, come by me and soda. You're bitter and sweet, baby. Now I'm thinking it over. So it came in too hard, went in too deep, too fancy for me. Come by me and soda. You're bitter and sweet, baby. Now I'm thinking it over, baby. So it came in too hard, went in too deep, too fancy for me. Come by me and soda, baby. You're bitter and sweet, baby. Now I'm thinking it over. Came in too hard, went in too deep, too fancy.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the immensely talented Kirk Thurmond. My name is Emmeline. I'm your hostess this evening, and I am so excited to invite Kirk all the way down here so that we can chat a little bit about his music. We've got an amazing show for you tonight, obviously. Right after Kirk Thurmond, we're going to hear a little bit from a wonderful producer named Pappy. We're going to hear a little bit from our very own Mav Tracks and Taylor Davidson. But first, Kirk, how's it going?
It's going well. How about you?
It's going well, sir. Thank you so much for coming to play for us.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Doing really well. Thank
Yeah. How's 2021 treating you so far?
You know, it's all right. I'm cautious still. I'm stepping lightly into 2021. But
We made it through the 7-day free trial.
absolutely.
So far, so good.
Yes.
We're all still here, so I think that's probably a good sign.
Of course.
But you've been doing a lot of collaborative, creative work in quarantine. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, so it just seemed like a really good time to spread wings a little bit, and you know, and make some moves at some sounds that I hadn't before. You know.
Yeah, for sure. So you've kind of reshaped your sound over the course of the last year or so.
Yes, absolutely. There are some things that I found far more natural to me, and I just kind of went with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So more in the R&B direction.
I mean, actually,
I've always been a person that deals in retro sounds, but I just went like further back, and just tried to stay true to that and figure out what makes that what it is, what makes it timeless, and just anchor myself there.
I feel like sometimes the journey as a musician is to go deeper and deeper into yourself.
You have to.
Yeah. And you have a kind of unique experience in that you don't only do this as an artist, you also do this as a producer for other artists.
That's correct, yeah.
In fact, one of the artists you've worked with is Taylor Davidson, who we're going to hear a little bit more from later.
That's right.
So tell me about the process when you work with other artists versus when you work alone.
So, I mean, it was a big adjustment. You know, at first you're really, you want exactly what you want, and you've got a really good idea about that, and you're not really going to let anything stand in your way. And that changes when you start working with other people because you go, you know, this is what I think should happen. And they're like, oh, I don't know. And you're like, well, I do. And it's a back and forth.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you know, everybody focuses in on the song. And, you know, you get a really great result that everybody's happy with, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a process where you both kind of have to step out of your own desire and kind of
Honestly.
focus on the art itself.
It's true. And it's definitely the other side of the desk, you know, from what you just saw up there. And it was a hard adjustment, but one that I've been happy to make.
Yeah. So tell me, you did 2 singles for Taylor. You did Lighting Matches and Lonely.
That's right.
What was that process like?
So when I first met Taylor, she brought me these tunes. She brought me a lot more than that, but these are the ones that we kind of landed on as far as like what to do and what to release. And I initially heard something that was so very familiar. It was a lot of the folk artists that I'd grown up loving and listening to.
Yeah.
And I heard it immediately in her writing, heard it immediately in her voice, and I said, I want this project. And, you know, Taylor and her family were gracious enough to let me be involved. And I think we came up with something really good.
Yeah. That's awesome. You've also been working on new music for you.
Yes.
And we've talked a little bit about the process of recording and re-recording.
Yeah.
And sort of, you know, I mean, it's sort of like dating, right? Like you hang out with your song for a little bit and you're like, I think I know who you are. And then something happens and you're like, oh, maybe I don't know you.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's songs, I mean, that I've been playing, you know, back when I had the Millennials and still now. And, you know, you get 10 years down the road and you haven't released it still, but you're still playing. And, you know, you go back and forth. And there's also this thing where you're just like, well, I've got all new music now. So forget that stuff. And then you realize that some of your best stuff is still like yet to be kind of like realized. It's a really delicate balance.
That's awesome. One of the things that I appreciate about that is, you know, you sort of get to know yourself better as you get to know your art better.
Right.
And both of those things inform each other. So one of the things that you and I talked about pre-show is like advice that you would give other artists, or what do you tell people who are sitting there thinking, I really want to do this?
Right. I think my main, after all, I mean, I think that answer has probably changed over the years. But the answer I would give now is you have to love the chase. You really do. The end goal for me has changed a million times, and it looks different. There's different iterations of it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's a lot smaller than it used to be, and in some ways it's a lot bigger. But I would say that the one thing I have learned overall, why I still keep torturing myself in this industry, is that I love the chase. I love to chase the thing down. And yeah, I feel like you really have to if you're going to be somebody who's successful in this industry, because it's not quick, and nobody's sitting around waiting to give it to you.
No.
So you have to love to just like run a thing down and relentlessly.
And a moment doesn't ensure that the moment is going to last, right?
Nope.
So you got to keep in the work.
You do.
That's awesome. I think that's also a really great message for this year.
Oh, for sure.
So one last thing, right? We got 2 more songs from you coming up, which I'm super stoked about. But before we get there, if people walk away from your music tonight with one message, what do you want that message to be?
I think the message I try to convey, or that I really hope that they walk away with, is sort of a like seeing what I felt and then immediately thinking like, oh, me too. Like, I understand that. I think there's a lot of things that we go through day in and day out that we're not sure if we're allowed to feel. We don't know if anybody else also felt this way.
Yeah.
I mean, it may seem like we're all this interconnected thing where we understand that, but it's not true. You know, you go through something, you feel something, you worry that maybe it's not reasonable, but we all do that. And so I tried to just convey really raw messages and just kind of vulnerable stuff so somebody else can know that somebody else went through it as well.
Gives people a safe space to feel something.
Please.
That's amazing. Well, we are so glad that you decided to share that with us tonight. We can't
course.
wait to continue to follow your journey. People can find all of your socials for Kirk Thurmond here at dallasmusicnetwork.org. That's dallasmusicnetwork.org. And I'm going to give you a second to get back to the stage so you can play some more for us. And you at home can find a safe space within yourself to feel some stuff. Thank you so much, Kirk. While Kirk makes his way up, we want to remind you one more time to make sure to follow him on all of his social networking sites, and you can find all of those on our website, dallasmusicnetwork.org. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, the immensely talented Kirk Thurmond.
Somebody's been busy. She learning to run down now. And it's all right now. It's all right. Those lips together. And hoping I won't find out. Yeah, but you won't have to call my number. See that I'm already coming down. And I already got you running. So go and take your time. And you ain't got to call my number. See, I'm already coming down. I'm coming for you. And I'm gonna get you something good. I'm coming for you. And I'm gonna get you something good. Alright, take moves if you want to. So go ahead and get your life whenever you want to. It's alright. When the shade is cool and the pain is in, better learn how to pick your fights. Hey, and you don't have to call my number. See that I'm already going to find it. And then you already got you running. I said, go on and take your time. And you ain't got to call my number. See that I'm already coming down. I'm coming for you. And alright, and I'm gonna get you something good. I'm coming for you. I'm on now. Hey, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, yeah. You know right now, baby. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, yeah. I'm trying to keep myself together. So I've been good now. But you use my name in every way, y'all. Several the way you should, and that ain't cool, yeah. So I'm coming for you. Baby, come and take your time, and you ain't got to call my number. Say I'm already coming down. So you gonna got you around. Don't got to take your time, and you ain't got to call my number. Say I'm already coming down. Now I'm coming for you. And I'm gonna get you something good. I'm coming for you. Alright, alright, coming for you. Come on, and I'm gonna get you something good. I'm coming for you. Yeah, and I'm gonna get you something good. Yeah. July. Usually you come and go. Somehow I think you know the temperature rising high, the basins are burning dry. You've been reading the things I write behind my back at night. There is a girl in eye. So then you know that she waits for me in September. She is at the end of my summer. You're afraid that fall is all that I will remember. And she is at the end of my summer. July, usually you come and go. Somehow I think you know, yeah. Sunshine through my shade, when the dryness see through the day, and you waited to see me smiling. When I look at the number 9, there is a girl I love. Oh, yeah. Well, you know that she waits for me in September. Oh, yeah. And she is at the end of my summer. You're afraid that fall is all that I will remember. And she is at the end of my summer. Said August breathes out to me. You promised it would be briefer. June on the final day of mine. Said you might be this way. So what is this on about? Are you trying to burn me out now? Yeah, although everybody knows that your days are always now. Yeah. Cause you know that she waits for me in September. Oh yeah. And she is at the end of my summer. And you're afraid that fall is all that I will remember. Yeah. Oh no. When she is at the end of my summer. Oh no.
There you go.
One more time for Kirk Thurmond, everybody. That was incredible, man. Thank you so much. What a great set.
Great set. Great artist.
I was going to say, we have kind of the best job in the world. So I'm sitting here with the reason that you see some of these incredible artists, Mr. Mav Trax. Mav, how's it going?
It's going great.
So you were already busy But starting January 1st, you became busier because you agreed to be our talent booker.
Right. And I'm glad to do it. I love finding talent that I've been around actually for 20 plus years, being a part of the music community and here in DFW area, you know.
So it just gives you a chance to highlight all these amazing artists that you've known for so long.
Right, you know, and rightly so, you know. We have a great music community here in the DFW area, and, you know, highlighting is what we do at DMN, so it's a beautiful thing to be able to be a part of that.
It is. It's all about creating love and shining a light on these artists whose music deserves to be heard, especially now, right? Like now
Especially
more than
now.
ever.
Yeah, 'cause while people need that inspiration and need that love and need through music, you know.
Yes, it is. It's hard to connect when we have to stay 6 feet. I mean, 6
Yeah.
feet apart, right? We both got
Yeah,
masks on. We're
masks
doing the
on,
thing.
you know.
You got your gloves. I have
Yeah.
hand sanitizer in like 4 different pockets.
Right.
That's our new reality. But with
Yeah.
music, we get to connect. So when you choose specific artists or when you put together a show, what are the things that go through your head? Walk us through that
The things
process.
that go through my head when I try to put artists together, I try to put artists together that'll tell a story. You know, like tonight, Kirk is an amazing, amazing artist, but he also happens to be a working songwriter, session musician. So, you know, he's able to invest his skills and talents that he's built over the years into new artists that are, you know, trying to break into the business and help them out and help them get where they need to be to do those things.
It's all about building community and bringing more
Right.
people in.
It's all about unity. It's about bringing us together and showing love and unity amongst this DFW area.
Spreading that love is so important, and doing it through art just makes it better, right? Because that's like
Who doesn't love music?
absolutely. So this project is especially special to you because you know firsthand how isolating COVID can be.
I definitely do. That's why, you know, December 19th, I contracted it, and, you know, and it was due, you know, sometimes it's very important for everyone out there to be careful, be cognizant of things, wash your hands. All these things that they're telling us to do are things that we need to do to keep ourselves safe. And, you know, we had an instance, you know, to where I was in an environment to where I didn't do as well as I should have, far as, you know, I trusted someone else with my safety when I should have been the one taking responsibility for it. And I contracted it on the 19th, and it took me out of a lot of things that I wanted to do. We had an incredible Christmas show set up that no one ever got to see because of that. And, you know, it's just, it's not something I would wish on my worst enemy, man. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, because, I mean, when I contracted it, you know, that first week, it was okay, but like after 5 days or so, I found myself not being able to breathe, so I had to go to the hospital, and I spent 4 days in the hospital on oxygen, trying to, you know, fight for my life just to be able to breathe. So, you know, but the good thing about it is surviving something like that makes you look at life totally different. Like when you come back for something like that, it makes you more focused. It makes you appreciate your time and your, you know, that you have on this earth, and lets you know that you need to do your best to be an asset to those around you. Love on your people that are around you. You might not be here forever.
Yeah.
And this music, you might not get to do it forever. So why not create and be happy doing so, you know?
We are so blessed to have you, and we're so blessed to have you back.
I'm so
and
honored to be back.
we're
Happy to be back.
so
and see all
glad
these
that you're back and that you're
lovely
okay.
faces.
Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. We are so blessed to have you. We're so glad you're back and that you're okay. And we're grateful to have your contributions. I can't wait to see the show you've booked for us next week.
Oh, next week's going to be amazing.
But-
Amazing project.
That's awesome. And you're also in the process of recording with
Right.
our next guest over here. So I'm going to have you pass the mic, and we're going to wipe it down as we pass. But I'm going to have you pass the mic to a fantastic producer who's a friend of yours, Pappy.
Fantastic owner of a studio, man. He's great. Y'all give it up for Pappy. He's great.
Woo! Yeah, y'all give it up for Pappy. We have a socially distanced audience of crew members here, but it's nice as artists to hear applause every now and again. I feel like that's something we lost in 2020. We got that feeling of playing and then hearing crickets. But our next guest, Mr. Paul Pappy Middleton. How are you doing, friend?
Well, I smell like I just did my laundry, but that's okay.
That's a good feeling, though. I was gonna say, you know that you're safe, which is important in this day and age.
Well, I'm an old geezer, and these things really help. Who needs a facelift now?
I was gonna say, yeah.
But,
now everything has to speak through art, right? Because you can't see anybody's facial expression.
Well, right now I'm still feeling really blessed, like Mav, to be alive, because my next birthday I'll be 75 years old, and I've been in this industry for 54 years now, and it took breaking an ankle while I was on a tryout scholarship in college.
Wow.
And I broke my ankle right before the season started, so I didn't get my scholarship. And I hobbled down to a coffee shop in Austin that night and played 3 songs and made $3.25, and I ate for a week on 19-cent hamburgers.
Wow.
And I'm still in the music industry. I said, I can do this. And it was I think everybody here knows and feels what I've felt all my life, is that being in the arts in almost any form, everybody has a certain art form that really touches them. And if they really love it and it pulls the creative side out of their heart, you can do it.
Yeah.
You can make a living at it. You can find a way to raise a family and kids. And I've done it. And when I look back on it now, because I've lost 2 wives to cancer.
I'm so sorry.
26 years and a half with my first wife, and I still miss her every day. And 27 years with my second.
Wow.
And she just passed last March.
I'm sorry.
And again, I still feel blessed, the memories and the music and all the things that I've been able to, I don't call achievements. I've been able to find them and live with them, and I've toured with some of the most unbelievable artists in the world.
I was going to say, you've run sound for people. We talked with Kirk earlier about music being a space that allows you to feel stuff.
Oh, well, I worked for 30 years with a lady named Bonnie Raitt. And the first year out on tour with her, we were kind of hanging out one night and just, I think it was a night off, and had dinner and stuff. And I looked at her and I said, Bonnie, because she does a lot of other people. She's a writer, songwriter too, but she does most of her songs are other songwriters.
Yeah.
And I asked her what she looked for in a song. And the first thing was feel. Feel. If I can't feel it, I'm not going to do it. And then the second thing was content. What does it say? And like Kirk said, my music's always been about feel, because I started so long ago when tape recorders. When I first came out of the Army, I bought a tape recorder. It was a Robert 770X, which they put American names on Japanese tape recorders back then because they couldn't sell them over here.
Yeah.
And I bought a tape recorder, and that was in 1970. And for probably 10 or 12 years, I didn't know another person. And I was playing music all the way through it that had a tape recorder. If they weren't in a studio, they didn't have one. And I learned a lesson the very first time I did a show after coming out of the Army. I recorded it out with a mic on with coat hangers tied off of a pole. And we went back to the house and listened to our show, and we were just blown away at how bad we were. Tapes don't lie.
They certainly don't do you any favors.
No. But again, being blessed to be this age, when I started building Palmyra Studios, that's my studio, I had just turned 50. So it's been there almost 25 years now.
That's incredible.
And my daughter drove up from Austin and said, Pop, what are you doing now? And I said, honey, I'm just finishing my dream. And we were moving my console in. And again, very blessed that while working with Bonnie Raitt, when I put the word out that I was looking for an old Neve console, which are built in London, by old Rupert Neve, who lives down outside Austin right now.
Really?
Yeah, he moved here many years ago. And I've got a 1969 Neve console that came out of Abbey Road Studios in London. And it was only because I was out front with working with these kind of people that when I put the word out, these guys wanted to get it to me. Hey, that's Bonnie's engineer. And so I've been able to buy the kind of gear that I love to use. My studio has all the digital stuff in it. I don't use it much. All of my projects are on tape. And I've got many tape recorders. And I would like to mention a band that I'm working with right now, and they'll be coming back in for 3 days this coming weekend.
Awesome.
Next weekend is a band out of Arkansas that has moved to Texas to be more in the music scene.
Wow.
And they're called Brothers Beckham.
Brothers Beckham.
And it's a guitar player and his older brother on bass, and a local Dallas player on drums,
That's awesome.
Zeke Ratliff. And they're, if you have some years behind you, they look like 1965 Cream.
Oh, really?
Eric Clapton and Cream.
That's awesome.
That's exactly what they look like. They grew up with that kind of music. Their dad would play tapes while they were sleeping when they were children. And so they just grew into Eric Clapton and Blind Faith and that kind of music.
So we got to watch Brothers Beckham. Maybe we'll have to talk them into coming on the show sometime. You'll have to introduce them to Math.
Their album just got released that we did here just earlier in the year
At Palmyra Studios.
and they're on I believe it's Orchard Records. It's a Sony label, and it just came out I believe about a week or so ago.
That's awesome.
And they have vinyl. Kind of hard to put in the pocket.
So you guys will have to check out Brothers Beckham. Pappy, we understand that this might not be the last time we see you here at Dallas Music Network.
Yeah. There's another band that I just got a call from Bonnie's ex-manager today, and they're out of Houston, and it's a two-girl sisters called Rosie, R-O-Z-Y.
Okay.
And if you can think of, 1970s or 80s girl bands, rock bands, they're really, really good.
That's awesome. Man, I am so excited for all the new music coming out of Palmyra Studios. We are so grateful that you came to share some stories with us today. Thanks for all you do to pull out people's stories and to create some spaces where people can feel.
Well, thank everybody here for what you're doing and how you're doing it worldwide.
Thank you.
Because that's always been one of my dreams, to see the technology catch up with all the young people from every country in the world talking to each other with this language.
Well, if there's anything we believe here at Dallas Music Network, it's that we all need more music in our lives.
That's right.
So thank you so much, sir. It's a pleasure having you. We can't wait to have you back. We can't wait to see some of these amazing artists that you're releasing, to have some of their music on the show, hopefully to have them on the show. And
I don't know the bass player's name up there, but I want to thank you. I never learned how to read charts and play funk like you do, and I love it.
So much love on this show, ladies and gentlemen. Please give it up for Pappy. And now we're going to introduce you to an amazing young female artist who had the pleasure of working with Kirk Thurmond, Miss Taylor Davidson.
Hey guys, my name is Taylor Davidson. I'm a singer-songwriter, and I'm from Prosper, Texas, and I'm a pop country artist. I get inspiration everywhere. It kind of just hits you. Just honestly out of the blue. Sometimes I'd get it from other artists, I get it from life experiences, or sometimes I'm just like inspired by an emotion. Usually when I go on stage, I love performing, so I feel like there's always an element of me in it, but I also feel like you do put on a little bit of a persona just to putting on a show and everything, but it's always me who's up there. I knew when I was probably around 10 or 11, and I sang in my school's talent show in 4th grade, and I was like, this is what I want to do. Of course, COVID has affected everyone. It's really affected, as a musician, it really hit all the music industry very hard. So, you can no longer do gigs, you can no longer go out and do anything for music anymore, which that was hard for me. The music industry has come together a lot, you know, online, doing virtual concerts and everything, so I feel like it's been hard, but power through, you know.
Red lipstick on the rim of her glass. She's the epitome of beauty in class. And I know that she's not the last to be loved by him. She played around with the party guests. Diamonds glitter on her chest. His initial around her neck that I once wore on my skin. 'Cause he's a man of few words but not women. And this is his world that we're living in. So good luck with your boyfriend. Diane, Diane, you know that he's a madman. Diane, Diane, you know he's a madman. No, Diane. She wears a coat that's faux fur. Everyone wants to be her. Her dress is silver like a modern Monroe. He left me in 6 months. Now he says she's the one. Now I'm just someone that he used to know. 'Cause he's a man of few words but not women. And this is his world that we're living in. So good luck with your boyfriend. Diane, Diane, you know that he's a madman. Diane, Diane, you better run as fast as you can. No, Diane. He's a man of few words but not women. And this is his world that we're living in. So good luck with your boyfriend. Diane, Diane, you know that he's a madman. Oh, Diane, Diane, you better run as fast as you can. Oh, Diane. Cause Diane, Diane, you know that he's a madman. Diane, oh Diane, you better run as fast as you can. Oh Diane.
Thank you.
He wants a pretty girl with perfect curls to fit into his little world. He thinks he's so deserving. As he opens up my car door, flowers from the drugstore. It's common courtesy. 'Cause it's not chivalry if you say anything to get what you want from me. 'Cause you're the nice guy till you're not, till you get what you want. You're the nice guy till you're not. entitlement. Your alter ego is falling through. And boy, you're just a narcissist if you think I wore this dress just for you. 'Cause it's not chivalry if you say anything to get what you want from me. 'Cause you're the nice guy till you're not, till you get what you want. You're the nice guy till you're not, till you get what you want. You're the ooh, you're the ooh, 'cause you're the nice guy till you're not, till you get what you want. You're the nice guy till you're not, till you get what you want. You're the ooh, 'cause you're the nice guy till you're not, till you get what you want. You're the nice guy till you're not, till you get what you want. You're the Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen at home, please keep it going for the amazing Taylor Davidson. We are gonna give her a couple of seconds to head on down here so that we can talk to her a little bit about her music before we let her play us some more songs. But we're super stoked to have her back. The first time Taylor was here, she played acoustically as an independent artist, and now she has brought her full band to give us the full Taylor Davidson experience. Welcome, girl. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be back.
I was going to say, how was your holiday? How was your New Year?
It was great. It was
Yeah.
a good time.
It was a good time?
Yes.
I feel like all we do now is just kind of stay at home. But for artists, sometimes that's the best time
Right.
because we like hang out in our room.
Absolutely. I love, one of my favorite things to do is write songs in my bedroom.
Yeah, exactly.
One of my favorite activities. So that's one thing that quarantine hasn't affected. So it's actually given me more time to do what I love.
Yeah, I was like, we picked the right career.
Exactly.
People are like, you got to stay home. We're like, awesome. But the instruments can stay. I'm good.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That works.
Totally.
So have you done a lot more writing over the holiday season and in quarantine?
I have. Quarantine and time off on the holidays and everything has really given me time to write more. I've been finding myself, writing more songs, and especially during this time, I think that's the best way to escape everything, because you can just create your art and that'll always be there for you.
Head
Music's
into the
always
fantasy
there.
world, right?
Yes,
Yeah, go into that second space
absolutely.
where everything is fine. Or maybe where everything isn't fine, but we kind of figure out why.
Right.
I was going to say...
It makes a good song.
Yes. Speaking of good songs, the last time you were here, you had just written Diane.
Yes,
And you played it for us tonight full band.
I did.
What has that experience been like, kind of giving it more life and, adding instruments, adding a vibe to it?
It's so fun, honestly, because when I came here before, I had just written Diane. I just finished it maybe the day or two before, and I was like, I love this song so much that I gotta play it, And then it's so fun coming back it was a month later, and playing it full band really just gives it so much more energy, and it's just so much more fun to see how it comes to life with the full band. So
Songs are kind of like friends, right? Because you get to know them as you spend more time with them.
absolutely.
And they reveal themselves to you over time. So have you had the chance to play it live in other places?
I have. I've played, with the holidays, gigs, and of course Corona slowed down, but I've gotten a chance to play it at a few places, and it's just, I always love that song. I always love playing it, so.
Yeah, and I feel like songs change every time.
They do, definitely.
just the fun part about a live performance. So what do you have planned for 2021? What can we expect from Taylor Davidson in the year to come?
Well, I'm excited for 2021. You know, I have high hopes after 2020. We made it through 2020. 2021 is going to be everyone's year. I can feel it. Definitely, I'm working on new music. I'm working on an EP, and I'm really excited about that. So hopefully that'll be out this year, and I'm excited to see where that goes. And so, yeah, new music, and that's pretty much what I'm planning. So
Yeah, so an EP is an extended play. So how many songs are you thinking?
we're doing 4.
Ooh, that's exciting.
And Diane will be one of them.
Ooh, we got an exclusive. You heard it here first. Literally, right?
Yes.
She played it here first. She came back and played it for you again. And now you know that it's coming out. That is so cool. So if people want to continue to follow your journey, remind us where we can do that. And so they can be ready whenever the EP finally releases.
Yes. Well, you can find me. All my socials are Taylor Davidson Music. So you can find me Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. My music. I have 2 songs out with Kirk Thurmond. He produced them, actually, which is pretty cool because he's here today. But they're out on Spotify, Apple Music. Wherever you listen to your music, you'll find my songs. So, yeah.
And Lonely and Lighting Matches are the
Yes.
singles out so far. So that's where you get your Taylor Davidson fix until Diane and its 3 colleagues come out on the new EP. Thank you so much for coming back to
course.
play
Thank
for
you for
us.
having
It's
me.
always a pleasure to have you. We actually get you for a little bit longer. So I'm going to give you 2
Yes.
seconds to get back up to the stage. And I'm going to talk directly to our friends at home for a second. First of all, we are so glad that you join us every week here at Dallas Music Network. We hope that you're coming back next Saturday because we have an amazing show planned for you that includes the immensely talented Emily Cole. But we do want to remind you that we started Dallas Music Network as a way to highlight art and artists in the time of COVID when it's so much harder for us to feel connected. We wanted to give you the space to feel things, to find joy, and to experience really the soul of who we are as people. You can find all of the artists that we've had so far and all of the artists coming up at our website, dallasmusicnetwork.org. So don't forget to come visit us, and we are so grateful to have you hanging out with us every Saturday night. Don't go anywhere, because right now we're bringing you even more from the amazing Taylor Davidson.
Crowded room full of people, girls in their party dresses. Maybe I'm just too wishful, making all the wrong guesses, trying to get over you. Walk along the avenue, 'cause in a world full of people pleasing boys who leave you for no reason. Maybe just me who's feeling wake but not thinking, low, 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 lonely. How the room spins slowly, how you left so cold, holy. No one here really knows me, so lonely. How'd I find myself here? Place I swore I'd never be. I was drowning from the tears, suffocated by your memory. Try replacing with strangers. That's not doing anyone favors. World full of people pleasing boys who leave you for no reason. Maybe just me who's feeling wake but not thinking, low, 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 lonely. How the room spins slowly, how you left so cold, oh, holy. No one here really knows me, so lonely. I thought neon lights and high-heeled shoes would cure me of you. Thought the reason for my confusion would be solved by someone new. 'Cause in a world full of people pleasing boys just me who's feeling awake but not looking low, lonely. How the room spins slowly. How you got so cold, only. No one here really knows me. So lonely. Lonely, how the room spins slowly, how you left so cold, only. No one here really knows me, so lonely.
Thank you.
Lipstick from yesterday, still on my face. Wipe it off in the rearview mirror. And it's just me, all of our things in the backseat. We were on the view. Had to do what I had to do just to get a few. So I left it on the side of the road, 'cause I ain't going home. Glad I keep matches in the console. Lighting matches from the driver's seat. Lighting matches to our memories. And the gas lights blinking, but it's fine with me. Running every red light, I'll say I'm cutting cause you broke my heart real fast, stepping harder on the gas, living with you in my past. Let the neighbors talk if they want to, 'cause honey, I'd love to see how you're gonna explain the fire on the interstate. Lighting matches from the driver's seat. Lighting matches to our memories. And the gas lights blinking, but it's fine with me. Lighting matches from the driver's seat. Lighting matches to our memories. And the gas lights blinking, but it's fine with me.
Thank you.
Taylor Davidson, everybody. Thank you so much. That was incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our show. We are so grateful to you for tuning in. We want to thank Taylor Davidson. We want to thank Kirk Thurmond. We want to thank their fantastic band for hanging out. We want to thank Mav Tracks and Pappy for giving us some insight into their artistic journeys. And most importantly, we want to thank you at home for hanging out with us tonight. And we can't forget our fantastic cast and crew, right? They're pretty amazing. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget, next week, 8 p.m., we'll be right back here with another amazing show for you. Emily Cole will be here. We've got some other amazing artists. It's going to be fantastic. In the meantime, stay safe, stay engaged, wash your hands, wear a mask. We love you. And remember, we might have to stand 6 feet apart, but thanks to art, we can all stay connected. Good night, everybody. Have a wonderful evening.
You dare to dream really do come true. See, one day I'll wish upon a star and travel where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me somewhere over the rainbow. Birds fly, if birds fly over the rainbow, why then, oh, why can't I? Hey. I'm trying to end this song today. I'm trying to end this song somewhere. Wow.